It's your lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Bad Bunny. I'll be speaking on his personality traits, his characteristic traits based off of his natal chart. I'll also be speaking on how a lot of the placements in his chart has led to a lot of the success he's garnered, so please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who really loves this content or really loves Bad Bunny. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. So Bad Bunny was born on March 10th, 1994, and this qualifies him to be a Pisces. So with this placement, he's someone who is very much incredibly intuitive, very dreamy and artistic. And he also is the type of person who will express himself through creative endeavors, which makes so much sense because he is a songwriter and he is a singer. So that's one of his ways of expressing how he feels is by him making music. He's also someone who's very much intuitive. That comes with being a water sign, especially a Pisces. They have great intuition and he's very dreamy as a person. You know, Pisces, they are ruled by Neptune and Jupiter as well, so they just love to do things that are artistic and dreamy, and they're just great at being creative as a whole. So I feel like Bad Bunny, he really does embody this in the best way ever. Up next would be his moon in Pisces. So he has a sun and moon in the same sign. With this placement, he's very empathetic and he can't help but reach out when someone is in distress. He loves to help people. He's also someone who's very intuitive and he's very sensitive. So intuition is something that really drives him a lot, and he's someone who's very sensitive. That does come with Pisces placements, but it's a great sensitivity because they're able to understand people on a different level. He's someone who's very social. He loves to talk to people. He can be very sympathetic, and he's never gonna let anyone down in the matter of the heart. In regards to his emotions, he's someone who's very empathetic, he's very sensitive to others, he's artistic, he has very deep emotions, he's someone who has powerful intuition, but sometimes he can have weak boundaries, and boundaries is something he will need to work on. He can be indecisive, introspective, and idealistic, and these are great placements. Up next would be his Mercury in Aquarius, which makes sense because usually if you're a Pisces, you're more than likely going to either have a Mercury in Aquarius, Pisces, or Aries. He's someone who has a very creative mind and someone who has great ideas and knows how to pursue them. He is 100% the embodiment of that in regards to his creative mind. He's very creative in different ways. And by having this Mercury in Aquarius, he's able to logically put those things into place and pursue those dreams that he would like to do. And obviously one of them was music. He's someone who has a very progressive type of communication, and he's someone who is going to be very different in regards to his opinions that other people may have. He's someone who's confident that his point of view is the correct one. He will always stand 10 toes down on his opinions and how he feels about certain things. Having this placement, he's able to articulate himself in a very great way and a very knowledgeable way as well. Up next would be his Venus in Aries. This can be a very difficult placement to have. However, he's someone who has a lot of self-confidence and he allows himself to tackle any obstacle head-on without hesitation. And this is great because this is brought into relationships. So if he's having a problem in his relationship with anyone, he's going to make sure he talks about the topic straight up and he's not going to beat around the bush. He's someone who's very attracted to someone who's physically attractive, who's very bold, who's very much independent, very athletic and entrepreneurial. He's someone who is a flirt. He's not a shy person. He's someone who loves to brag about his accomplishments. He has this innocent charm about him. He's very self-centered, but he's very childlike and childish. He loves the chase and the initial conquest. He's very intense. He is someone who can be impulsive, but he's someone who really does forget things easily. Up next would be his Mars in Pisces. So this is his third Pisces placement. So he has a Pisces stellium. He's someone who's not adverse in playing games to get what he wants, even though he knows exactly what he wants sometimes and not all of the times, but he likes to be very much social and analytical in what he wants, and he's someone who just wants to be up there and out there. He's also someone who loves expressing himself and growing after things like love and compassion. That's something that really gives him that drive, is having love and compassion for others. And if these are the things that are what he wants, and these are the things that are presented before him, he's gonna 100% go and make sure that he gets what he wants in life with these themes in mind. He's someone who can be inconsistent and moody at times, but he is able to balance that out with his analyticalness and his sociability. He's someone who has a Jupiter in Scorpio, and with this placement, he loves to attain immense success in whatever field that he chooses to work in. He's very successful in his singing career and his songwriting career as well. That's something that he's been able to really do well in. He's someone who uses his intuitive powers to get ahead in his career and personal life, and this is a very high theme in his natal chart, is intuition, and that's something that really is great for him. He's someone who's very self-aware and has a very strong will about himself. He's also someone who has a lot of deeper things going on above his appearance. So he may appear one way, but there's probably another thing that's going on deep down. He is a persistent researcher. He's someone who's very much interested in psychology or any type of situation that deals with the mind, and learning how to communicate is something that will be great for him. Up next would be his Saturn in Pisces. So with this placement, he tends to be someone who has a difficulty in creating boundaries and structure. Sometimes reality and fantasy can be blurred for him, and sometimes it can be very difficult for him to really navigate in life in a way. Having this placement, he has the tendency to think that his life is out of control based off of fears that can be reasonable and unreasonable, and is probably connected to unfortunate experiences that happen with people in his life, like maybe a father figure or someone who just was not straight up and honest with him. But because of this placement, he learns how to take responsibility for his own life, and he tries his best to have expectations that are realistic for human people, because he needs to know that not everyone's perfect. Up next is his Uranus in Capricorn. So with this placement, he's someone who's very practical, sincere, quiet, and capable. He's someone who is persistent, and he's going to make sure he has the structure and organization in order for him to not only feel in control, but in order for him to really focus on everything that he needs to focus on. He's someone who loves to plan for the future as much as possible, and this makes him an automatic innovator, because he will find different ways in regards to how to create wealth, create money, and just create different opportunities for himself. He's also someone who is very practical in his solutions, and he loves changing society's customs, traditions, and authority structures. He's very logical and very orderly. He's someone who loves to deal with different things that are great. For example, he may talk about topics, and those topics are things that he would want to change and make reforms for in his life. Up next would be his Neptune in Capricorn, and with this placement, he's someone who is always focused on ways to increase his power, wealth, and influence, and this kind of has the same vibes and themes as the previous placement we talked about. He's someone who will work as hard as he needs to in order for him to increase his influence in this world, and he most definitely has done that with his career. He's someone who is known globally, and he's had a lot of success and power and wealth because of that with his music. He's someone who is very idealistic and practical and has the ability to attain goals, but because he also stresses the need to be selfless and giving, he may find it difficult to attain his goals unless he has lowered his expectations on all fronts. However, what he has to believe is and know that he should put himself first, and he can also be generous as well on the side, and that's something that will benefit him and others. Up next would be his Pluto and Scorpio. This is actually a great placement to have. Since he was born between 1984 and 1995, he has this placement, and that makes him a millennial. These people who are millennials and have a Pluto in Scorpio tend to have intensity, and they love to face things that are scary or things that previous generations didn't really want to talk about or think about. They are the types of people who love making collective issues conscious, and they're the types of people who love resolutions, revolutions, and movements. And they're also the types of people who love looking deeper into any situation to discover what's really going on behind the scenes. They're not really surface level thinkers or surface level researchers. They're going to make sure they go deep into different topics and deep into different things so they know what's really going on, because they just want to be able to fix situations that occur in life, and they're very great at that, the millennials. Up next would be the North Node in Scorpio. He's someone who has the need to have a lot of self-discipline in his life in order for him to develop his hidden gifts and talents, choosing constructive change, releasing whatever causes stagnation and low energy, eliminating non-useful possessions, enjoying things without having to own them, accepting support from others like ideas, money, and opportunities, enjoying high-risk situations that make one feel alive, awareness of other people's psychology like their wants, their needs, and their desires and motivations and motives, openness to partnering, supporting, and merging powers with others. He's someone who needs to find power in his emotions and learn the way of the eagle, fly, soar, and feel the wonders of the world, all that is within him. He also needs to connect to his inner depth. So these are the traits he'll need to develop in order for him to be at his full potential. Up next would be his Chiron in Virgo. And with this placement, they more than likely have the wound of not feeling good enough in regards to their life. So they might have always been critiqued by a parent, or they might have always felt as though they're never perfect. And this is something that will always be around him or anyone with this placement, usually for the rest of their lives. This is also a placement for them to know that even though things are hard, they know that things will get better. Being controlling is something that can be hard because they want to make sure everything's under control, but they have to realize that not everything can be under their control, and that they're able to help themselves and heal themselves as well as they're able to heal others. And that's where they get their true healing from. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today on Bad Bunny's natal chart. Please let me know down below, did you learn more about him as a person? And also who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you hit that notification bell. Also, please make sure you hit that like button and share this video with everyone you know, whether it's a Bad Bunny fan or a Bad Bunny person who really loves it, or anyone who loves natal chart analysis. Last but not least, please make sure you're subscribed to my Facebook through podcasts under Abbie Dagrin, my Etsy store through Instagram under Gael Beauty, and my PayPal that is linked down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.